Alright, welcome back to another video with your Excel expert. My name is William, and today we're going to be learning how to create a table. So obviously using tables in Excel is an extremely valuable skill that a lot of beginners just don't know about. So we're going to walk through a couple of different ways to go ahead and do that. The first way, my personal favorite, is just a shortcut. Alright, so we're going to give you 3 different ways to do this, but the first one is the shortcut, a keyboard shortcut. So all it is utilizing Control and T. So Control and T. I see all these dancing ants around my data and this little pop-up window here that says creating a table. Where's the data for your table? It has intelligently identified it because I am pre-selected within my set of data. And it also sees that my table has headers. So headers are just the first cell in each column here. So I have headers. It has identified that I do. I can uncheck that if I don't, if it's wrong, or I can check it back again. But it is correct, so I'll leave it checked. And I'll click OK, and it creates a table for me. Another way to do this is through the Home tab in your ribbon. You'll go up here to your Styles section, and you'll see Format as a Table. Now keep in mind, I'm still selected within my data. It's not going to work if I'm out here. I'm in my data, and I can click Format as a Table. And this way, it actually lets me choose which color, which I can always do after the fact, but it's nice to be able to choose that beforehand as well. So I'm just going to choose this orange color, and then it gives me the same pop-up dialog box. It has identified that I have headers, so I'll click OK, and now I have an orange table instead of the blue default. Our last way to create a table is through the Insert tab in the ribbon. So click on the Insert tab, and I see up here under my Tables group, I've got a Table button, and there's my shortcut, Control T. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that Table button. It gives me the same dialog box. Click OK, and there's my default blue table once again. Now that you've got a table created, you'll see this new tab appear in your ribbon called Table Design, which has all kinds of useful features. For example, in the table style options, we'll play with those a little bit, but then we also see table styles themselves. So just like I said before, you can change the color beforehand if you go with that previous option to create your table through the Home tab. However, you can also change it after the fact as well at any point in time. And as I hover over each of these different colors, you'll see previews of what those tables are going to look like. I'm actually okay with the one that we've been given by default, so I'll go ahead and leave it on that for now, but just know that you can always change how your table looks if you would like to. The last thing we're going to talk about is just the table style options up here. So we're actually going to be able to affect how the table aesthetically appears and what it can do for us as well. So the last thing we're going to touch on here is just each of these little check boxes. So you'll see my header row is visible currently, and it's checked. If I uncheck it, very simple, it goes away. Check it back, and it's there. Now what's really cool about your headers is as you scroll down into your data, you'll see that each of your headers has actually replaced the column letter identifier. So instead of seeing A, B, C, D, I see customer ID, customer name, customer country, which is really useful when you get really far down here and can't remember exactly what you're looking at. Maybe you have a bunch of cells and they're all full of numerical data. It can be hard to differentiate. We can also adjust how our first column and the last column might stand out. This looks different with different table styles. With the one we have currently selected, it just bolded my first and my last column when I checked those boxes. I can choose if I want to see banded rows or not. I really like to, it helps my eyes. You can also choose banded columns if that's even easier, if that works for your data better. This filter button, which we're not going to get into in this video, but you have lots of options to sort your data here and apply different filters to your data as well. So we're not going to get into that in this video, but just know that there's a filter button that you can dive a little bit deeper into. You can make that visible or invisible. And then the last bit here, really useful, is our total row. So when I check the total row, you'll see we'll be brought all the way down to the bottom of our set of data. We're 1,000 rows down now, and I can see 999 here. Why does it say 999? Well, it's because it's a count of how many records I have. So you'll see here, I can add, well, these are dates, so that's not going to work quite as well. Why don't I do it with the unit price here? If I click on average, I'll see the average unit price of each of these transactions. Or I can sum them. So obviously it's going to be a bigger number, got to make some room. You have lots of options with your total row. As you can see, predefined functions that are already plugged in here that you can just click on, and suddenly it's going to calculate the result for that particular column. So again, this is a really useful skill. Feel free to dive a little bit deeper into this. This is just kind of a brief overview to let you know what's possible. And thanks again for tuning in. That's it for today's video.